Hello there, guys, and welcome back. Chapter 6 is all about factoring. This is a very, very important topic. And we begin by talking about something which is fairly important, and that's called the GCF, or the greatest common factor. So let's define that first. So the GCF of several different numbers is the biggest number that goes into or divides into each of the numbers. So here's a couple of examples. So the first example, if I'm looking for the GCF of 12, 48, and 36, I'm looking for the biggest number that goes into each of them. And you should be able to realize that the biggest number that goes into 12 and 48 and 36 is 12. How about the next example? What's the biggest number, the GCF, that goes into 24, 27, and 18? And if you think about that for a second, it's going to be 3. So now let's take a jump and ask ourselves the question, what is the GCF of, let's say, 6x squared y cubed 12x to the 4th y to the 8th and 8x squared y to the 5th. So take a second and press pause and see what you can come up with as the answer for this one. So it takes a little thinking, but in terms of the numbers, the biggest number that goes into 6 and 12 and 8 is 2. The biggest power of x that goes into x squared, x to the 4th, and x squared is going to be x squared. And the biggest power of y that goes into y cubed, y to the 8th, and y to the 5th is y cubed. Okay? So now let's talk about factoring. So here we go. We want to factor this trinomial. And we always, when we're factoring, begin by trying to find the GCF. So the GCF of this is going to equal, take a second, think about it, 3p squared. So I'm going to factor that out, and this is where it gets interesting. So I take a 3p squared out. And now this is exactly like multiplying in reverse. I want to get 21, p to the 6th. So I need a 7. And now this is where it gets interesting. What do I multiply p squared by to get p to the 6th? That's going to be p to the 4th. And then I need a 10, and I need 3 p's to get to 5 p's. And then I have a 9, and I already have p squared, so I'm done. And there we go. So factoring is exactly multiplication in reverse. Okay, check this one out. Again, we try to take out the common term, the greatest common factor. And in this case, the greatest common factor is 6 x cubed y squared. And now I have to work in reverse. This is going to be a minus 2 y cubed. This is going to be a plus x to the 5th. And this is going to be a minus 3x squared y. Same as y to the 1st. Okay, so make sure you understand that before you move on to the next problem. Okay, so once again, we look for the greatest common factor, and in this case, it's going to be a 2 and an x squared and a y to the 4th. And then what I have to multiply by is an x, y to the 4th, minus 12. Bang, that's it. All right, So we'll continue working on factoring in the next section. See you then. Bye-bye.